This video is entitled Endowed by Our Creator, Unalienable Rights, Human Rights that are Imposter Rights, and Discerning Them. Well, we've used this image to reflect on the fact that we are created and endowed by our Creator with our inalienable rights, that they're forged into us in heaven. And we've taken a look at this longer list of unalienable rights that are given to us by God. But let's understand to a greater degree what human rights are. The American Heritage Dictionary defines it this way. Human rights are the basic rights and freedoms to which all humans are considered entitled, often held to include the rights of life, liberty, equality, and a fair trial, freedom from slavery and torture, and freedom of thought and expression. Well, those are highly aligned with the unalienable rights that we've been considering. Wikipedia supplies a different definition. Human rights are moral principles or norms for certain standards of human behavior and are regularly protected by municipal and international law. This is a squishy definition. Moral principles? Whose? They're undefined, and this was where imposter rights can be forced into the system with a squishy definition like this. So if we're to understand human rights that are legitimate are aligned with nature and nature's God. They're anchored in the image of God. Human rights that are illegitimate are not aligned with nature and nature's God and work against or opposite the image of God or God's design. These are imposter rights. Imposter rights might include these: abortion, the destruction of life, the destruction of God's design. Redefining marriage, the destruction of marriage, defining it any way we want, the destruction of God's design. Gender rights, the destruction of the image of God, promoted by those that are warring against God. Additional imposter rights might include these: healthcare, free healthcare for all. It devalues free enterprise and offers poor solutions. UBI, universal basic income. It devalues work. Hate speech, a promise to never be offended, and the government suppresses the speech that it doesn't like. Equity, an elite group of leaders put themselves above God to determine who gets what. These are promoted by power lusters. People who push illegitimate human rights, not anchored in God-ordained rights or God designs, have as their purpose, whether stated or not, to put themselves above God, to war against God's design, and to destroy the American constitutional system. There's a startling example of this happening in our day and age. Two recent presidents quoting the Declaration of Independence but leaving out the phrase, endowed by our Creator, simply canceling that phrase from our Declaration. Since it happened more than once, it was not by accident. These are power lusters, putting themselves above God, warring against God's design, and destroying the American constitutional system that's based on the belief in a Creator and in God-given rights. So our constitutional system was only designed to protect unalienable rights, only designed to protect them, the ones forged into our being by the Creator, not made up human conceived rights. Every time our government grows beyond its stated limits, it diminishes our unalienable rights. Any government program that lies beyond the Constitution is a parasite on unalienable rights and liberty. A century ago, the Humanist Manifesto was declaring that a new time and age had arrived, and they made 12 declarations. The universe is self-existing, not created. Man is a result of continuous natural processes. The mind is a projection of body and nothing more. Man is molded mostly by his culture. There is no supernatural. Man has outgrown religion and any idea of God. Man's goal is to develop his own personality. Personality ceases to exist at death. Problems will be solved by man looking within himself into the natural world. Religion and institutions that impede this human development must be changed. Socialism is the ideal form of economics, and all mankind deserves to share in the fruits from following these tenets. And boy, has mankind reaped the whirlwind from these awful, unworkable thoughts. Humanist philosophy, powered by humanists, produce imposter human rights. rights that are not endowed by our Creator. The antithesis of the American system, and the only outcome is to destroy it. Imposter rights are used to destroy America's constitutional system. The citizens of the United States need to be aware of these imposter rights and appeal to the inalienable rights forged in heaven's fire into our very being by the Creator of heaven and earth, and to know those rights, and to stand for those rights, and to assert for those rights. My name's Craig Seibert. Thanks for listening.